talks about canceling.
Cocainum.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hello and welcome to the Trump indictment party, also known as the Leftist Mafia here.
Oh wait, why are people? What's going on here? Should I have been wearing incredibly embarrassing pajamas? What's going on?
Yes, embarrassing. A fucking hater, that's what you are. Second of all, I showed up like this. And then Mike said, "Oh, yeah, I should have known. I would have got my Pikachu." And I said, "Go get it. Go get it."
I used to have a Yoshi. I wish I still did. I'm gonna pick up one for onesie episodes. Yeah, I know.
I'm representing the shocked Pikachu or the surprised Pikachu face because Trump got indicted. Didn't expect that. So
I'm Eeyore because Eeyore is black. I love him.
Is he really? Is that true?
I didn't know that.
I have a whole video rant on this. I won't go into it for the show, but I'll send it to y'all. Eeyore's black. I've made this case.
And he's public domain now, so you could actually, if he wasn't black, make him black if you wanted to.
Thank you.
That's true.
Thank you for sharing
Winnie the
that.
Pooh is public domain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they were able to make that trash ass Winnie the Pooh
horror movie.
The horror movie, yeah.
Yeah, I watched Kenny's review on that, and it was she was disappointed in it, and I still kind of want to see it though. But yeah,
I loved it. Love that review.
So, should we jump into Trump indictment? I got some clips. I have Trump's first reaction. We can see that, and
let's do it.
But so Trump was indicted just a few hours ago.
It happened.
I don't think it's unsealed yet, but it's around the hush money payments to Stormy Daniels that he sent through Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen already went to prison for this. Trump's the co-conspirator. No reason why Trump shouldn't already be indicted over it. But let me bring up.
I just want to say a couple, a week or two ago, I invited Lance on the show when these rumors first started happening, and I was like, "Let's do a show on this," and he was like, "It's not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen, man."
I was heartbroken.
And I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Listen, I was one of those anti-resistance libs. Didn't believe for a second Trump would go down for anything all these years that they were thinking he was going to be in prison in an orange jumpsuit any second. But this time I was telling everybody, this time just felt different. This wasn't the same. This wasn't rumors and speculation coming from the libs of Twitter. This was rumors and speculation, and not even, this was insider information coming out from the DA's office. So I mean, this was legit.
Let the record reflect that I put out a video last week saying this was gonna happen.
I watched that video. It was really good. It taught me a lot about Briggs.
Thank you. Yes, I knew this was happening.
I didn't know what to expect.
My daddy actually texted me the minute this happened. I didn't always. I very much so was of the mindset in like November that would never happen. And my daddy texted me at 5:51 p.m. and said, "I won our $5 bet. Trump is indicted." And I said, "Thank you, Daddy. I got it. I understand. I am humbled." You father.
I love how most of us found out through Matt Binder. Through DM. Actually, that's also how I found out. Yeah.
Yep. You too?
Through the DM, yeah.
Yeah, Matt is the newsbreaker of the group, apparently. Although I decided that I didn't have enough time to prep a video before our live show, but David did, and David made the correct decision.
And actually, I'm a little worried this live stream may hurt my video, so I'm going to see afterwards in the stats.
And then you'll never need
YouTube can be weird with this stuff, but we'll find out. But here is Fox's reaction, which I also cover in my video, so go watch that as well. But this is
David, is your mic switched to the right one? Everyone
you might have the wrong mic on.
Oh my goodness! Again? Yeah. Okay, hold up. Thank you for telling me.
No worries.
It's audio.
I'm getting it. Okay.
Yeah, way better. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. All right, so yeah, this is Fox News's reaction to it happening, and listen for the gasps as they announced it.
Here, we have just gotten word former President Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury in New York. Trump was under investigation by the DA's office for his alleged hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign. Here, we have just gotten word former President Donald Trump has been indicted by a...
What?
Shock and awe.
And I guess as we speak, who's on right now? 8 o'clock. Is it Hannity? I'm sure they're doing weird shit, providing some defense, going crazy about this. Jesse Waters, already got some clips from him as well I can bring up. But I don't know. And what are your initial thoughts, everybody, on this indictment of Donald Trump? Do you think he'll be behind bars, or is it just going to be like, you know?
Oh no. This is fanfare.
That's not gonna happen.
At least not over this. There are some other cases that I think are a little more important, but
we will get the mugshot though. That is the ultimate. That's the ultimate. Like that's it. Once we get that mugshot, that's it. We got it. Boom! It's over. We got exactly what we wanted. The mugshot.
I forgot to mention that on my video. That's right.
It's the most.
To get a mugshot.
Yeah. That's gonna
have to fingerprint them.
We're not gonna have we're not gonna have any cool video or photos of him being like taken in cuffs. That's not happening. But we're gonna get the mugshot. That's a guarantee.
We do have AI of that happening, so we can pretend. We have make believe. Yeah.
True.
So I got another reaction here. This is Fox's Jesse Waters, trying to make some kind of argument, but here we go.
Trey, did Democrats just indict a former president over sex? Because we were told during the it was just sex.
Why do you say it like that? Like over sex? Like that's real shit.
Just because he had sex, they're indicting him.
Yeah.
Just like, what?
How dare you?
To do with politics and nothing to do with policy. Weren't we told that? And you have to understand, he says he didn't have sex with this woman. She had her hand out saying, hey, I'm not going to say anything unless you pay me. So either it's a consensual sexual encounter or it's a shakedown. And Democrats want to make that a felony? Trey, did Democrats have sex with?
Yeah.
I don't think he seems to understand exactly what is going on here. The sex literally has nothing to do with it. It's the deceit and lies and cover up, the hush money payment scheme. It's everything that occurred that broke the law in terms of what Trump did to hide this expense within his business records.
It's not becoming.
In his defense, he does go on to say that he is not a lawyer. So here's his other piece of his argument.
I never went to law school, so I'm going to respectfully disagree with Trey Gowdy and say it's a bookkeeping issue. Why? Why? Because if you settle a private civil matter with a woman and you have your lawyer handle it, what other column are you supposed to put the payment into? I don't know. I'd put under the legal column. The whole thing is BS.
It's a bit of a self-report.
Incredible.
Does he not understand that this is not a business expense? Like, you can't do that. Like, it's not.
You can't just expense hush money and be like, oh, no.
This is exactly what got. Well, I'm not. Again, I'm also not a lawyer, so I don't know if it's exactly. But this sounds a lot like what Trump's good buddy Vince McMahon just got in trouble with last year. Now there was no legal ramifications for it so far that I know of, in terms of investigations or anything. But Vince had to temporarily leave the WWE because he had paid off various women over the years, and this came out, and he had filed this as business expenses with his publicly traded company. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, I have to say, though, that, it's not everything that I was expecting. I think that I had more fun when Trump got COVID. At least Twitter seemed more fun then. But I'm still happy. Like, I don't want to shit on it.
Twitter.
Yeah, those were the funnest days.
Yeah. I don't know. This one's
before the election.
No. I got two of the funnest days on Twitter. Number one has to be when all of a sudden the blue check marks were allowed to do verified accounts on Elon Musk's Twitter, and every single person impersonated someone else. That was the funniest day on Twitter, in my opinion. Everyone I knew that I was hanging out with, all of my friends, everyone was just like, I could not stop checking my phone and bursting out laughing, like, oh my God, it just happened. Another war criminal, another US president confessed to the war crimes. Holy shit. Like, it was just, sorry. I digress.
January 6th.
I do have,
Twitter.
Oh, that's true.
Trump's reaction. So I don't do a good Trump voice. If anyone here does,
indicated.
Read this. Anybody?
I can give it a try if you want, but...
All right, yeah, Blair, you go.
Okay.
These thugs and radical leftist monsters have just indicated the 45th President of the United States of America and the leading Republican candidate by far for the 2024 nomination for president. This is an attack on our country, the likes of which has never been seen before. It is likewise a continuing attack on our once free and fair elections. The USA is now a third world nation, a nation in serious decline. So sad.
Wow, that was really good.
We got a new
I didn't know you had that in you.
Bravo.
I think it's the first time he's used the word likewise.
Proud of him. He's expanding his vocabulary.
I know.
Yeah.
I know Alvin Braggs is in his house, crip walking, talking mad shit. Like, listen, he's talking so much shit. He's in the house like, hey, who did that? Me? Like, who's the motherfucker that had the Boston Judge? Me? That's me. He's like, that's me. Talk about a nigga that's getting reelected. It's me. He's in the house talking big shit. He walked out of the court, stone face. He was like, no comment or whatever. And I was like, listen, the minute these cameras move from him, he's in there like, oh, I already know. Trump done called that man every slur in the book. And he is somewhere going down a list of slurs for Alvin Bragg. I love it. There's nothing Fox could say to him. I don't care, sweetie. No one cares. He's charged.
Is Alvin Bragg this radical leftist that we're being told he is?
No, he's not. He's not. No. Oh, well, one could wish. No, the man's not a progressive prosecutor at all. And I always knew he was.
Can we pull up this tweet from Benny Johnson? Because I'm struggling to make sense of it.
Betty Johnson?
No, Benny Johnson. The
Benny.
The BuzzFeed guy who got fired for being a plagiarist and then
the gay cruise advertisement share guy.
I just don't understand this tweet whatsoever. Does anyone want to help me out here?
And the past just turned Trump into Tupac.
What?
I don't understand.
Wait, is that deleted? I don't see it on his timeline.
I just
loaded it.
Oh no, it's not. It was 2 hours ago. He's just a prolific tweeter. Never mind.
Tupac?
Wow. This do be embarrassing.
Just turned Donald Trump into Tupac. What I mean? Like, sweetie, what does that mean?
Made him cool or something? Like now he's cool?
Like we have to unpack that. You have to unpack that. What does that mean? That's not even offensive. What does that mean? I have questions. I just needed to be. What do you mean they just made him Tupac? What does that mean?
I don't know.
My guess is that he's trying to say that they just made Trump cool, maybe, even though that doesn't make any sense. But I don't know what else.
What?
I don't know what else it would be.
This is very cryptic. I don't get it. I guess I'm not big brain enough.
It is a sentence. There's no one who cannot deny that it is in fact grammatically a sentence in English. So there's that. Yeah, we're that far.
Okay, we got it down. It's a sentence, and that's it.
Yep,
pretty much.
Can we also just take a moment to discuss just how insanely funny it is that we are living the dream that all the QAnon people have?
Oh my god.
Like
I never thought of that. Holy
they
shit.
daydream of this day where Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden or Barack Obama or literally
like
all of them.
It's actually like the rapture. It's that significant to them to have Joe Biden arrested in handcuffs and everything.
And it's happening for us instead.
It's not Hillary Clinton. It's not Biden. It's not even Barack. Oh wow.
We need law and order. Law and order.
You gotta like roll your R's a little bit. You gotta like enunciate with you get law and order. I feel like I lose IQ points when I do that.
So I'm asking ChatGPT, did the Democrats turn Donald Trump into Tupac? The response, no, the Democrats did not turn Donald Trump into Tupac. Tupac Shakur was a highly influential and iconic rapper who died in 1996, while Donald Trump is a former president of the United States who was impeached twice and has faced numerous controversies and legal challenges. So
for a second, I thought you were going to say ChatGPT was going to be like, actually, I think he's more like Biggie.
God.
He's got the flow, you know?
I love the copium that we're seeing online. Like there was somebody that shared the photo of Trump hissing, and then they had the "hank you" because he's doing the sound. So it's like then they added "hank you," basically like, "Oh, thank you for making me, I guess, like a martyr or more popular." Like they actually are coping by saying this is going to help Donald Trump, and maybe it will. But I mean, it's still hilarious. Like all of them cannot deny how funny this is, and regardless of how this affects Donald Trump politically, we have to admit that this is it's a hilarious moment in time, and I think it speaks to how stupid this era in American politics is perfectly.
Now, some will say, and I think they're correct, that this will just help Trump with the nomination for the Republican Party. I don't think it helps him for the election, but
no,
I don't think this hurts him at all for Republicans. Now he's like a martyr. They're all, they're going to rally around him, support him, which is ultimately good for Democrats because I think, as we've said before, Trump has a much worse shot than someone like Ron DeSantis, who's less of a known figure and doesn't really have the anti-vote the way that Trump has. So
yeah, I say let
losing here.
Let them eat themselves alive. Listen, like do your Trump thing.
So I have a question from the forums. That's for Olay on this topic. They're asking, can Olay please explain the charges for the trolls and imbeciles that are still defending this clown and claiming he did nothing wrong? Also, mad love to the whole panel.
Okay, so I didn't look at them to break them down because I don't care actually. So yeah, I actually don't care.
To be unsealed.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Oh, so we don't know the charges yet. Okay, so we don't know.
It's likely over the
See, hey, ain't it a good thing I'm not a fake lying bitch? Could y'all imagine if I was like, oh, I launched into an analysis of some charges I've never seen. Y'all to read the indictment is sealed. Woo! It pays to be authentic. I was like, I ain't seen it. That'd have been embarrassing. I'd have been there like Bethany Mendel. Yeah. I was gonna say, honestly, why argue with anybody who's like a Trump fan, anybody who cares to like feel anything but at Trump being indicted? Like, who gives a fuck? Like at the end of the day, you don't have to argue with them. He's fucking indicted. They'll come up with anything. It's not like there's anything you could say that would make them like. They don't give a fuck. If they support Trump, they're not in reality. They're not reasonable people. They're not reasoning. Like, so just laugh. This is just a good moment for you to get your laugh off. Like, just slap your knee.
Can you open that link that I sent in the private chat? I just want to point out this is a post from Donald Trump just yesterday. on Truth Social.
The one social.
I have gained such respect for this grand jury, and perhaps even.
Let Blair do it. Let Blair do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I'm back. Okay.
I have gained such respect for this grand jury and perhaps even the grand jury system as a whole. The evidence is so overwhelming in my favor and so ridiculously bad for the highly partisan and hateful district attorney that the grand jury is saying, hold on, we are not a rubber stamp. What the fuck? We are not a rubber stamp, which most grand juries are branded as being. We are not going to vote against a preponderance of evidence or against large numbers of legal scholars all saying there is no case here. Drop this sick witch hunt now.
And fast forward to today, they indicted that same grand jury indicted him.
He must have been feeling kind of comfortable after a week of nothing, and then he thought, "Oh, I'm free, I'm good." And
They're
then
so full of shit. I love how like whenever something happens to them, suddenly they know the criminal system. So the criminal system is messed up. Like, sweetie, ain't it a saying in this country you can indict a ham sandwich? We're keeping it consistent, baby. You should have saw it coming. You should have saw it coming. Listen, I love it. The more, it don't matter what they, because at the end of the day, don't matter what they say, you mad as hell. That's all I know is you mad as hell on the other side of that screen. You mad as fuck.
All caps.
Think about the amount of grown ass men whose face is red with rage right now. They in their but they dare not go nowhere because they still fighting them January 6 charges. Sit your ass down. You can't have another open case.
yeah, hopefully there's more to come, because this is like the weakest case. I mean, this is, he still broke the law, but in terms of, I guess, importance, this doesn't really seem like all that important. But so hopefully there's more good stuff to come, but I guess we'll have to wait.
Also, hey, my chats are bringing up that someone is giving some crazy feedback in audio. I'm not sure which one of us it is.
Is it? Who is it? It's me.
Well, Lance,
hello.
It's not him.
My mic is new, so I can't like.
I'm wearing headphones. It can't be me. It's not possible.
Is it me? Maybe because do I need headphones? Let me put on headphones and see if that changes. Wait, where are my headphones?
Yeah, if you're the only one not wearing headphones, then
I'm not wearing headphones.
You're not? Since when do you not? So how you listen to the show?
I've never worn headphones.
How do you?
Are you serious?
How do you do that without headphones?
I've never worn headphones ever.
The mic cancels it because the speaker from my computer is a little bit further away.
Is the feedback on?
Yeah, it was you.
Oh, I just
Sorry,
heard myself back back in yours.
It's okay. New mic. It's okay. It happens. Sorry about that.
I heard myself back. Okay, if y'all say it's good. Y'all hear me echo back now?
I don't hear any echo. No,
I don't hear any echo.
Oh, I hear it. Oh, I'm playing twice in my. Oh, okay.
You're playing twice in your head?
Yeah, in my my headphones. Whatever, it's fine.
Maybe you have one of the videos playing on your
maybe.
Computer. Maybe you have like one of the streams streaming.
Or maybe it's coming through your speakers and your headset.
Oh, maybe no. Yeah, I have the search chat open. Maybe that's it, but I have them muted.
Well, it's gone now.
I don't know
for everybody.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's keep it up. Let's do the show.
As long as you can hear us.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I understand what's happening.
Did we already read the DeSantis tweet? I can't remember.
No, we didn't.
No,
we did not. It's good because he's cucking to Trump like we knew he would.
Oh yeah, he's basically saying he's gonna not uphold the Constitution and help extradite Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, that you see what I'm saying? Lawless.
And he says Soros backed Alvin Bragg like a number of times, really hyping up his anti-Semitic.
Weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head. It is un-American. The Soros-backed Manhattan District Attorney has consistently bent the law to downgrade felonies and to excuse criminal misconduct. Yet now he is stretching the law to target a political opponent. Ridiculous. Florida will not assist in an extradition request given the questionable circumstances at issue with this Soros-backed Manhattan prosecutor and his political agenda. This idea that like Soros, like they try to make it sound like Soros like handpicked this guy to go after Trump. Soros gives to Democrats, so they can claim anybody is Soros-backed. It does. This has nothing to do with George Soros. Like this, God, the boogeyman they use with this shit. When all politicians are being paid lots of money from massive corporations and billionaires, regardless of party. this idea to target Soros is so just completely absurd.
I just want to say, damn, David, have you been practicing your Ron DeSantis impression? That was fantastic.
That was just my voice.
yeah, that's the.
I mean, that exactly. That's about that's the kind of charisma he brings to the table.
Hey, you said it, not me. You said it, not me.
Can I highlight this Facebook comment?
Is it even possible to do a DeSantis impression? Like the guy, there's nothing to accentuate. It's just a voice. Like
he's
there's
not
nothing
interesting.
there. Yeah, there's nothing interesting. Sorry,
I love this Facebook comment. I have to bring this up. Are you people so damn naive and gullible? And can't you see this was and is part of the plan? Oh, I love that copium. It's so good.
What's the plan now?
Yeah.
What am I
You just have to
missing?
wait and find out. You naive libs.
That's been going around a lot in the conspiratorial circles since this.
It makes me so happy to see that.
All part of the
because
plan.
they're just coping.
All part of the plan.
Oh, it's the best kind of cope.
Sorry, what's the plan?
This is part of it, okay? You just have to
This is
wait.
just part of it, yeah.
Trust the plan, David. Trust
Enjoy
Daddy's
the show.
plan.
Enjoy the show. That's another one they always like to whip out. Enjoy the show. Patriots in control.
Well,
No, people, you're not going crazy. I had to take off the Pikachu suit because I'm having hot flashes here, okay? It's really fucking hot. I had that on over my entire, outfit or whatever. I can't do it. It's really hot.
We're losing people. What's going on? Where'd everybody go? This is a first?
I don't know.
Olay's probably, doing the illegal thing.
Are we all just going down now? Hold on.
Oh no,
It's illegal. First of all, it's illegal in New York City, and I'm eating a sandwich.
Yeah, she's eating a sandwich. God.
Oh, there we go.
What kind of sandwich is it, though?
Salsa with sazon, lettuce, jalapenos, mayos, cheese, and fries on a roll.
Oh, that sounds good.
Jalapenos on any sandwich is a great sandwich.
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's a banger. It's a banger. It really is. It goes crazy.
It's making me hungry.
Back.
All right, what else is going on?
You know what? Speaking of Ron
That's the
DeSantis,
news.
how about how Disney is putting Ron over Mickey's leg and giving him a good spanking for the next however many decades? They enacted the King Charles III rule or some shit like that. Something absolutely freaking crazy for the legislation. I believe.
I don't know anything about this.
Okay, so apparently, I guess there's a loophole that you can make some rule about how a body can be governed within a state or something based on the death of King whatever the third's death of the last child plus 22 years, which would be the current prince's child or something like that. So that child has to grow up, die, and then wait 22 years, and then they're allowed to make certain legislative changes or some shit like that. And so Disney enacted that rule. That right here.
Sidesteps DeSantis with a royal clause. This is
freaking real. Is this not absolutely freaking batshit crazy? Like you fuck with the mouse, you get the house. My God.
Yeah.
Disney ran the district for over half a century until Florida legislators punished the conglomerate for slamming state laws regulating sex education. But the new board says its authority has been bypassed by restrictive covenants that cite King Charles III.
Honestly, this feels like one of those situations because I hate Ron DeSantis, obviously, but also I'm not a fan of a corporation having some sort of eminent domain control over an entire swath of a state.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the enemy of your enemy is your friend. But in this case, I'm not sure which enemy is which enemy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
fair.
Two enemies here.
Restrictive covenants are terrible. They're literally the roots of so many racist property realities in America. They're alarming as fuck. But yeah. But that's just a separate truth about restrictive covenants legally. This is great. Yeah. Kiki.
Yeah, I guess in this scenario, I go with obviously Disney over DeSantis, but I'm not like rooting for either on their own.
Damn, I've got to share the comment from Trump's team because they are going in hard against DeSantis, claiming that he got played by Mickey Mouse. I'm sharing the link. This is from Florida Politics. He didn't. I don't think Trump himself made a statement, but his team is kind of like dancing on DeSantis's grave with regard to this issue. So Trump's team
is like defending him.
Yeah, of course.
Which, by the way, total bitch move. I bet you actually, if DeSantis was like, good, he should be in jail, he might actually get more support. Be the alpha male. That's what Republicans like. Is just it's the anger, the emotion, the throwing shit at the wall. Like whoever throws the most shit at the wall is who gets the vote. So if he is as crazy as Trump is, he would get the support.
Yeah, here's the statement. So President Trump wrote Art of the Deal and brokered Middle East peace. Ron DeSantis just got out-negotiated by Mickey Mouse, said Trump ally Taylor Budewick. Yeah, so they're going in on him, and you love to see the fighting. It's great, and I'm rooting for Mickey Mouse here. But overall, I think that the deal itself is extremely weird. But you know, there's really no winners in American politics. Or I don't know what I'm saying. Never mind. Disregard what I just said. That doesn't make any sense.
No. There are. Well,
There
I
are
mean,
no winners.
except there's only
There's
winners, if
but-
you're extremely wealthy. That's about it.
True. Yeah.
Everybody
So,
else
like, which of the
loses.
fucks do you like root for in this instance? Like this giant multinational corporation or this fascist? It's like I want them both to lose, but I'm rooting for Mickey in this instance. So yeah, I don't know.
It's just funny to let them, infight and kind of beat each other down because there's no winners here. So at least, enjoy the swings when they hit.
Exactly.
Anything in the question form?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've always got questions. So let's see here. We've got people want us to talk about obviously the Nashville shooting and to talk about the David Pakman tweet as well. That's causing him to lose sponsors and everything right now.
Who's David?
Oh, he's
What's the
losing
Pakman tweet?
sponsors.
Who's David Pakman?
Every week it's like a bingo card. Like who's mentioned this week?
Damn. I didn't know it led to all of that.
Apparently.
Should we pull up the tweet? I think it's deleted, right? So I don't know.
What is that?
Let me see if I can find
Pakman
it.
is he's like a liberal YouTube host.
He's a big channel. His channel and my channel, I think, are about the same size. So like 1.6
He's
million
pretty
or
big.
something. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Fox News article about David Pakman's tweet. Holy shit! I'll share
He
the
got
link.
he got a lot of shit for it.
I missed this completely.
Yeah, speaking of Fox News, we were in Fox News last week, or at least I was, and then me and Lance were in the Daily Mail for our responses to Anna about the trans tweets. We're just making the rounds. The leftists are, that is.
I love to see it.
Okay, I think I found it.
The Pakman tweet? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I just posted it in the private chat.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian school, given that lack of prayer is often blamed for these horrible events. Is it possible they weren't praying enough or correctly despite being a Christian school?
What is wrong with this tweet?
Yeah.
He's just throwing their argument back at them. There's nothing wrong with this tweet. So the right is jumping on him because he hit a nerve.
Oh, it's the right that's mad. Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
Then it's a good thing. Right. So this is a great tweet. Why did he delete it?
Because I think he was getting like death threats and stuff.
Yeah, I think he was getting death threats, and I believe people found or started going through a list of his sponsors and started messaging his sponsors, and they started actually dropping him, I believe.
This is cancel
Give me a
culture.
fucking break.
Yes, the right
whatever.
is doing the little cancel culture thing.
They're the ones who say that a lack of God and prayer in schools is the reason why school shootings exist. So he's literally just saying, hey, maybe this is evidence that you need to do more than thoughts and prayers. I don't really see how this is controversial.
He's just using their argument. Like there's nothing wrong with that tweet. He's just throwing their hypocrisy at them. He's just throwing their argument back at them, being like, clearly it's not about the prayer. That's all that tweet is saying. He's not saying like they deserve it or anything. He's just saying this is what you guys say. Prayer is what stops this. It didn't stop it here. It's such a innocuous tweet. Like I wouldn't even think anything of this if I just saw this randomly. Like this is nothing.
Yeah, they really are the hypersensitive PC snowflakes that they claim the leftists, because they get so triggered by the dumbest things imaginable. It's, yeah, I don't think that is controversial, but I understand him deleting it if there's all this backlash and death threats. Holy shit.
So any other thoughts on like the shooting? Like I did a video on it. I mean, I feel like I've done 1,000 videos on guns and shootings, and I've discussed how Canada has how our laws are set up and how that could help to stop some of this stuff. You can still own a weapon, but you got to go through a process to get a license, and there's training, and there's a background check, and there's a waiting period, and then you got to do one for when you buy a gun. So like I'm like talked out on this topic because it's the same thing every time, right? It's just recycle the same obvious points that don't
what
get it.
More is there to say that hasn't already been said? Like we have the same fucking conversation every time there's a mass shooting, and it's exhausting. It's the guns. Like you can support gun reform without supporting gun confiscation or anything like that. All we're asking for are very, very moderate popular reforms, and we can't even get that because one of two parties is controlled by the gun lobby. So that's what it is. This will continue to happen until any action is taken. And we've kind of just collectively decided, or I should say Republicans have decided, that this is just a part of American life now because the gun industry's profits, that's more important than the lives of children. So yeah, there's nothing else to say about this, I feel like. I mean, certainly it is really despicable the way that the right is trying to use the identity of the shooter to like make some broader point about trans people. They really are despicable, and they're trying to exploit this tragedy to basically justify violence against trans people. And it's just all around, it's disgusting. Every time there's a mass shooting, we have to deal with the hypocrisy from the right, along with just like the general depression that comes with knowing that, oh, more kids were slaughtered when this was completely needless. It's just, I just feel like, I don't want to say I feel numb because I'm never, desensitized to kids dying, but the conversation around these mass shootings, it's just so exhausting because we have it every couple of fucking weeks.
Well, and you're right. The question, the ponderance that remains is when have we buried enough children's bodies? When have enough children died that we can be satiated by their blood seeping into the fucking ground? I'm sorry to be so dramatic about it, but these are kids. They didn't have a choice to enter this world. They're just trying to get by. And then we are like, there is a somewhat general consensus that everyone's like, oh yeah, there's a mental health issue, but Republicans will block any mental health vote. And how much more blood needs to be shed? How many more children need to fucking die before Republicans are like, this was enough bodies this year. Like, I think we're good now. It's never going to be enough for them. And then the fact that those kids' bodies, those kids that had just fucking died, bodies weren't even cold. Parents didn't get a chance to go identify their children, to literally process trauma, to bury their fucking children. And it already became a political ploy, something to just toy around with. The kids were totally fucking forgotten the second they could get their fucking fangs into the fact that the shooter was trans. The narrative completely wiped out. The children don't fucking matter, and it's clear that they never did. And you can see that by the way that this particular shooting has unfolded now that it was not a straight, cis, white male that perpetuated it. And it's disgusting, and I'm fucking tired of this shit, and yet it feels like our hands are tied. We can sit here and talk about this forever, but the people who have the power to make change do not give one fuck about it.
Yeah, well put. I mean, the reactions to the right with each time, like, it feels like they're increasingly saying the quiet part loud. With Uvalde, they were saying, yeah, I mean, this is the cost of freedom. We're not going to get rid of guns. We're not going to do any common sense gun reform. We're not going to do it. And then after the Club Q shooting, I mean, the response by the right collectively was, fuck around and find out. Tim Pool tweeted out, well, they did have a grooming event, so... I mean, they don't care. They genuinely do not care at all. Not even the most smallest amount of fuck. They don't give that. Like, they just don't care. So we are forced to live in this dystopian reality where gun violence is a common phenomenon because Republicans collectively decided for all of us that this is the way that it has to be. And one thing that I've got to point out, and this might seem petty, but Jamal Bowman was like shaming Republicans and him and Thomas Massey got into a shouting match. And when Jamal Bowman was like angry and yelling at Thomas, Steny Hoyer walked up and like put his hand on Jamal Bowman's arm, basically trying to get him to calm down. And that, for some reason, like that made my blood boil, because it's like, no, this is the outrage that you should have had 5 fucking years ago. So how dare you basically try to get Jamal Bowman to calm down? You should have been this angry years ago, Steny. Like it just, where like the outrage here is justifiable. It's just this whole situation is really frustrating. This whole country is frustrating.
If you want, we could watch a bit of that. This is Jamal Bowman here.
And they go to the Senate, ask the same questions. They're cowards. They're all cowards. They won't do anything to save the lives of our children at all. Cowards. Pressure them. Force them to respond to the question, why the hell won't you do anything to save America's children? And let them explain that all the way up until election day on 2024. Let them explain it all the way up to election day on 2024. They're freaking cowards.
Why are people ducking?
They're not here. I'm talking about gun violence. I'm talking about gun violence. Carry guns? You think more guns lead to more death? More guns lead to more death. Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby. Look at the data. More guns lead to more deaths. States that have open carry laws have more death. States that have open carry laws have more death. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Calm down. Children are dying. 9-year-old children. The solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school? 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 It's a yes or no question. Have you ever worked in a school? You will not answer my question. Don't stop and talk to me. Okay, I'll bring it down a notch.
I think that's fully justified. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think what's so annoying about that interaction is you can unpack it honestly, but it's that he stops and he asks him, like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't even know, there's an ongoing thing, you're not even sure what the issue is. And the minute he answers him, your finger is in his face like an authority with this position that you're now barking back at him. Moments ago, you had no idea what this man's impassioned speech was even about. And now you're an authority wagging your hand in his face, doing all this. And what is so annoying is that, like, the way the other politics, whatever they are, as they're walking by these other white guys, they stop and they're like, acting as though, it's an altercation now, right? Like the worried white people. And it's annoying because it's like, this guy is already talking. This is a controlled environment. It's no, you know who he is. This is, look where we're at. This is Jamal Bowman. You know what's going on. There's no danger afoot. This guy feels comfortable enough to stop, engage him in the now back and forth, whatever. Now the white people are like, oh, you know what I mean? Over at Jamal Bowman, like, I was like, oh, know.
Here, where Steny Hoyer goes to him and like just, tries to stop him here.
Yeah, and there's a second part of that where Thomas Massey gets frustrated and tries to walk away, but then Jamal Bowman follows him. And then Thomas Massey's like, get away from me, basically, after he's the one who decided to engage with Jamal Bowman. And it's funny because he's pretending as if he has these solutions, which, it's more guns in schools. But as Matt Binder pointed out,
Thomas Massey.
The Parkland shooter, that happened in an environment where a guard was armed and was too afraid to confront the shooter. And so these solutions of more guns in schools is nothing more than a thinly veiled attempt to placate their constituents. But the reason why they propose this is because they take money from the gun lobby. And even though they know that more guns equal more gun deaths, well, less guns equal less gun profits. And so they know that they have to do that. They have to play the game. Thomas Massey, if you look, for years, he's been saying, oh, well, I haven't taken money from the NRA, for quite some time. But if you go through the history, and I shared the link to the video that I posted today when I talked about this, he's taken money indirectly and directly from the gun industry. And over the course of his career, it's tens of thousands of dollars. So it's not like all of a sudden, if you stop taking the money, you're no longer beholden to them. Of course you are. You're corrupt. You've been bought and paid for. So they know they have you. You don't have to, give them more money.
It's less about the NRA and more about the gun lobby generally. Like my understanding is the NRA doesn't have as much influence as they once did, but there's still a gun lobby. There's still
and in a lot of ways, the NRA has kind of won the culture war in a lot of respects. For people in America, associate the fact that you have to have a and I'm going to reiterate this, well-regulated militia, but they have the right to bear arms. That's so synonymous with the idea that guns equals freedom. You cannot restrict guns in any way. Where it's like, okay, let's get down to brass tacks here. A well-regulated militia, that was for land-owning white people. All right, that's basically what that meant in that period in time. It wasn't for women. It wasn't for black people. That's what the well-regulated militia was. And now they still extrapolate that today in the modern day and age to be like, well, this means that I'm allowed to have an AR-15, a fucking tank, grenade launcher, get me nukes. Why don't you have nukes, America? Where's your fucking freedom? That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
How many of you have nukes?
Second Amendment was never for Kyle in his lifted fucking truck, okay, to go coal roll people while waiting in a fucking McDonald's drive-thru, okay? It was never for him. It was never for that. It was always supposed to be for a militia because back, 300 years ago, we were living in literally different fucking times. You needed to have people who were ready to take arms to go to battle for your country. That is not the state of our country anymore. The rule, the way it's defined, it doesn't work in the modern age. And surprise, someone who wrote a document over 300 fucking years ago couldn't predict the future. How shocking.
Yeah, and what they mean when they talk about the Second Amendment, they mean white people. Because, I mean, look at Philando Castile. Did they give a single fuck about him?
Nope.
Who had a gun? Look at all the pearl clutching with trans people who are showing off with their ARs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They don't want trans people armed, people of color armed, just them.
I mean, the reality is, if there are different canons of constitutional interpretation, right? But it's originalism that Republicans cling to is what it is, and reality is that if you go by originalism, the Second Amendment would be read out of existence, right? And so I actually was taught constitutional law in law school by a conservative, like a really conservative guy. And so what he would say is he said, because it would, right? A well-regulated militia, blah, 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 blah. All the different actual originalism interpretations of it is that it was never meant to apply to what our current thing is. And that also does not mean it cannot be, nowhere did it ever mean in any variation of it that it can't be restricted or regulated like every single other right that's found in the Constitution, whether in explicitly or through constitutional cases. But nonetheless, so how he would justify it is he says, you have to read the Constitution with a reliance theory, with the underlying belief that people have relied on this right for this amount of time, so you can't read it out of existence. That would be that's their mindset. Then the minute you get to talking about Roe v. Wade and stuff like that, it's get out! I don't care. I don't give a fuck. It never made sense. It doesn't hold up to originalism. So it's not there from, I would argue that it actually wasn't there from the beginning of the country's history, so it's not quite as fundamentally embedded. They actually in the opinion, when they overturn Roe, actually go down that silly ass line like, it's not from the beginning of the country's history, so I wouldn't say everyone's really used to having that right. I wouldn't say that. It's not. It doesn't go back that far.
And as you mentioned, there are restrictions on rights, like restrictions on free speech. There's defamation. There's incitement of violence, threats. So the idea that, this is a right. Okay, how about a right with restrictions like other countries have? You can still own a gun in Canada, but there are restrictions on that ability to own that weapon. Stuff is basic.
And we do it with all this stuff, right? It's the same way, like, even if you think, like you said, like free speech, like the fact that hate speech or fighting words are not considered part of that protection of free speech is something the Supreme Court found in a constitutional case. Obviously, you don't see that written in the Constitution. They do that all the time. Everything is regulated, right? Like that's the whole thing. Even down to the fact that we have committees in Congress was something they had to like make a case and find and come up with if you give it an intelligible principle, like I guess you could find it. And Scalia was like, where the fuck did the Constitution say that? And they were like, could you chill? Could you chill? So they regulate everything. That's how it goes. Only the Second Amendment to conservatives interpret. So you can do nothing with it except Black people. They can't get no guns, not legally, not illegally. You smell it on them, lock them up, lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. Like, so, you know.
Well,
yeah.
Let's. I know. Yeah, I know this is a tough topic to pivot from because there really is no good way to pivot from this. But everyone has been, driving this topic into the ground. And unfortunately, we're gonna probably have this topic again come up in just a couple weeks because, unfortunately, that's the state we live in. However, let's see. Okay, so here's a question. Did y'all see AOC versus Chaya Raichik?
Yeah, I saw that. The lipstick TikTok, the lipstick TikTok person.
I'm not familiar with this.
And insurrectionist, by the way. She was a participant in the January 6th coup attempt. Yes.
Yeah, so I actually have a video coming out about this tomorrow. Not this particular instance, but Chaya Raichik is in the phase of her grift where she's trying to be like a right-wing influencer, and it's not going very well for her. So last week, she filmed this video in conjunction with the Heritage Foundation where she tries to confront AOC, and basically all that happens is she goes to AOC's office and AOC isn't there, and then she posted the video.
I haven't seen this.
You haven't seen? Okay, we should watch this first then.
Okay.
You're actually super transphobic, and I never want to share space with you. Thank you.
Based.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a tweet. There's a tweet earlier somewhere showing that AOC took a picture with Chaya Raichik before she told her who she was, and Chaya Raichik was like, AOC took a picture with me thinking I was a fan of hers, lol. And she's saying that about herself without realizing she's just basically saying that she's so unimportant and meaningless that AOC could not recognize who the fuck she was whatsoever.
Had no idea who I was. I'm so insignificant.
You're actually super transphobic, and I never want to share space with you.
Based. What a great clip. I didn't know that happened. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
So to give you some additional context, so she posted another video of her going to AOC's office, and she wanted to confront AOC about the lie that AOC told, because AOC said that Boston Children's Hospital received a bomb threat after libs of TikTok claimed that children were given hysterectomies. They're trans children, which is not true. And that's all that AOC pointed out. And she's trying to claim that AOC lied about her. So she went to AOC's office last week. AOC was not there. And she shared that video as if it was like amazing. And then nobody watched it. So then she went on Tucker Carlson's show so he could promote her video. And she's like, yeah, she cowered. She didn't want to talk to me. She just wasn't in her office. Like, that's all it was. And even after Tucker Carlson promoted it, it still didn't go viral. It went nowhere. So finally today, after returning to her office to find out that AOC wasn't there, she ran into AOC in the hall and got like that 6-second interaction where AOC was totally owned by Chaya Raichik. So, I mean, she got her moment. This is what the transition to influencer looks like for Chaya Raichik. It's very, she just doesn't have that X factor, right? She's very milquetoast. She's monotone. She's untalented.
She's unbelievably boring. She's
so boring.
Her and Matt Walsh are two of the worst individuals because they have to be. I feel they have to be extra venomous and evil because if they don't say extreme things, no one's going to pay attention to them. Matt Walsh is so dry to listen to. He's like, but then he's like, the superiority of the Anglo-Saxon race, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, well, this guy's a white supremacist. I'll listen. I'll pay attention. You know, Chaya's just like that.
That's such a great point. I didn't think about that because, yeah, they really are like the most basic people in this whole like influencer realm, I guess, if you will. So, yeah, that's how they make up for it. If you don't have a personality and if you don't have any charisma, then you just say really fucked up things. And then that's how you get the NPCs to applaud and clap like seals. That makes sense.
I'm noticing Michael Knowles doing the same thing. Every week he every week since
Yeah,
did his trans statement, he tries to say something new that's outlandish, and none of it's catching on. Like no one, Michael Knowles is also very boring.
Yeah,
but it's just it's this attempt to try to get in headlines, try to get rage clicks. Like it's very boring.
There's a lot you have to do when you have no talent and you're not intelligent, so you don't really have anything to say. Like you have no knowledge of anything. Like Matt Walsh, didn't he say that he didn't even finish high school or something like that, or didn't go to college? I don't remember what it was.
He finished high school. He was in a meeting where they asked, "What are your credentials to speak about the medical intervention of children?" Which is a very fair thing. Why do you feel you're qualified to speak about the healthcare of kids in this district? And his answer was like, "Well, I might not have all that fancy city learning or whatever." He's like, "I may have only gone to high school. I may not have gone to college." And now you're just like, "What? This is it?" Also, have we lost our host? Does that mean the stream is down?
Well, I'm one of the hosts, so I can still.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, interesting.
I can still say
he's
it.
back.
Oh.
There we go.
What happened?
David, you're muted.
I was trying to go on mute and I completely deleted myself.
Oh, okay.
Oof, oof, oof.
I'll figure it out at some point.
He was having too much fun.
Okay, so not because I want to bring this back to the shooting, but this question that someone asked us, maybe I'm sitting here and reading this wrong, but I don't think I like the phrasing or the premise around this question. So I wanted to present this to you all, to see your opinions on this as well, because this is aimed at Olay for Olay to answer, but I think this is more of an open discussion, and I don't like the way I'm reading this, so let me have you guys take a stab at it. So it says, Olay always has the drip, love you, that part's good. Question, should we treat the shooting as a hate crime? More and more evidence as it being an attack against innocent children who just happened to be studying in a Christian school. Who cares if the shooter was trans, but she was driven by hate? No?
That's not the same.
That's not the criteria for a hate crime legally. First of all, it is a mistake. Most of how hate crimes, what happens after things like this is they use these as opportunities to expand the criminal system and mass incarceration. They'll pass more criminal laws and they'll pass these hate crime laws that in application always get charged against the actual marginalized classes they're allegedly meant to protect when they're sensationalized and passed, right? Like statistically, most hate crime charges actually are applied against Black folk and other people of color because that's the majority of who's in the system. So in general, the hate crime discourse isn't one I want to engage in. It wouldn't motivated by hate. I haven't looked into, I don't know what all the specifics are on what this person's motivation are. If was there a manifesto that dropped? Do we know, or
they haven't released the manifesto?
They haven't. There's no indication as of this point that this was a targeted attack specifically because the children or teachers were Christian. There's absolutely zero evidence to prove, to even indicate that at this time.
That feels very much so to me like a Republican talking point that's already been thrown out for people to go in the same way that every time the majority of these mass shootings are carried out by white cis men, and whenever that's the case, and all of a sudden they don't want to talk about the identity, the shooter has nothing to do with it. It switches to it's about mental health and this and lone that wolf and blah blah blah.
This poor young man had his life ahead of him. This young boy had his life ahead of him.
Exactly. And it's not like this is the first. We've seen recent mass shootings where they've tried to like jump out and try to pretend it's a trans person, and you find out that's not true or whatever. But they've tried to do it. So when they get one, if they get one, they're just going to weaponize it. That's all it is. And I think it's important to recognize when Republicans are throwing out to you manufactured talking points and they're doing things to further their own agendas and not play into them. So that's essentially that's my answer.
Right. I mean, it seems like for this specific case that not only did this person go to the school, but apparently I just saw a report today that one of the victim's fathers was apparently seeing her as for mental health reasons or something. Like he was a pastor providing mental health care or something for her. I have no idea exactly what it was, but he had some connection to one of the shooter had some connection to the one of the victim's fathers. So it seems like it's going to be something like that. If that's even it. No indication it was some sort of hate crime against anyone due to religion.
I think the reality is America loves to skirt past root causes, but America's the largest manufacturer of guns in the world. And America is the only country that deals with mass shooting after mass shooting after mass shooting after mass shooting. There's the answer. Like there's simply the answer. There's the fundamental answer. It's not even just gun reform. And it's important to, when we talk about gun reform, make sure we make the distinction of not more criminal laws that only end up criminalizing Black people for possession, you know what I mean, and just expanding mass incarceration. What you need is more regulation, and what you actually need, there needs to be something to be done about the lack of restraints of any kind there is on what is this massive gun industry and how many guns are being manufactured in this country in the first place, and just and what's allowed and who's allowed. There's no reason why, and we also need to reflect on what our real problem is of guns, because America can't be a country that simultaneously Republicans act like them and their whole family holding giant guns is like a patriotism, happy Christmas, holiday picture, but a Black person with a gun, or they even say they think a Black person has a gun is a sign of thug and criminality. So, there's a lot to unpack.
I saw that today too with I guess there was a trans person. There's a video of them like holding a gun, and it was Charlie Kirk that was like freaking out about it. It was like, dude,
they were like holding it in a threatening. Are they not going to be charged at the FBI? Don't charge them for holding this in a threatening manner. Yeah.
And to the person who was asking the question, you also have to remember the spin on these things. Like after the Buffalo shooting, the Fox News take was that do not rush to judgment. This was not an attack on Black Americans. This was not motivated by white supremacists. This was an attack on Christianity, and this was an attack on Christians. This was a motivated attack on the Christian faith. That was already the narrative they were spinning. And then as more details came out, it turned out, no, this is a white supremacist, and this was an attack on Black Americans because they were Black. And that's like, it's not wrong to think, to point in the direction of a hate crime when there are multiple pieces of evidence that steer you in that direction.
I didn't say anything too much before when this topic first came up, but I have the opportunity now. So I just want to say, like, when I covered this on my show, it's... I say don't even feed into any of this bullshit, any of this narrative they try to pull. I mean, they did this. This is the same thing they did just 20 years ago. Every time there was a shooting or something that they considered to be a terrorist attack, where they automatically blamed Muslims for it. We are seeing the same thing time and time again with the right, where they consistently, when it's a shooting where a straight cis white man is involved, they don't want to talk about the shooter. They want to focus on the victim. When we find out, like we often do, that there's some sort of far right or white supremacist, white nationalist, neo-Nazi motive behind it, they even double down on not wanting to cover it. Hell, sometimes they even go further and say, oh, maybe we should look at the reason why young white men are so angry in this country. No, none of that matters at all. It's all a fucking bullshit way for them to get off the main issue here. It doesn't matter who's doing the shooting. The shooting would not happen if the gun laws in this country weren't what they were. White supremacy, white nationalism, neo-Nazis, they exist many different places outside the U.S.
Yeah,
we do not. There's Muslim people all over the world. There are trans people all over the world. All those problems with white supremacists, all the trans people, all the Muslims, none of them are committing mass shootings anywhere else than in the United States of America, because that's the one thing that's connecting everything. That's the one fucking thing that's connecting everything directly to shootings. We can deal with all the other problems separately, but when it comes down to the mass shootings, the school shootings, is because we got guns, a real gun problem in this country.
You should also add that a lot of those same pundits, someone like, say, Ben Shapiro, who runs the Daily Wire, that has all these people underneath him, right? Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, every single one of them works for him. He's the same person who was trying to talk about these kind of issues when it related to the Quebec mosque shooter, who ended up killing a whole bunch of people who were Muslim. And when it was revealed, when they interviewed the shooter in that case, what was, the top people who you viewed, the number one person was Ben motherfucking Shapiro. And at that time, Ben Shapiro was pushing the myth of the radical Muslim minority and pushing videos out where Whereas, like, if you look at the Pew Research polls and the stats, there's no such thing as a moderate Muslim. They all want to commit jihad and kill us all. We're all going to die. And as you keep pushing that shit every single day, and then someone finally takes action, right? And don't get me wrong, the ability for people to commit acts of violence, Matt Binder's 100% true. Like, the more restrictions that you put on the ability to purchase, say, AR-15, shit like that, will certainly curb the amount of damage and carnage you do. And I recommend anyone who hasn't done it, the Washington Post, the same day that shooting, the Nashville shooting happened, put out a special where they made 3D graphics to show people how powerful and deadly an AR-15 is compared to a modern hand weapon. And it is jarring when you watch it. When you see the 3D visuals of how when the AR-15's bullet specifically enters into a human, unlike a normal bullet that just passes through and makes that bullet holes like style incision, this one just tears your insides apart, so that when medics and paramedics, which they never show you, when they arrive on the scene, they cannot save them. There's nothing to save. At that point, they have bled out because their entire body is ripped apart in raw carnage. I didn't know that and how bad it was until I saw those like 3D visuals. But when you see them, you're like, it makes sense. This is why this is the mass shooter's weapon of choice. If you want to create maximum carnage, this is the best thing that you have the ability to go into a store, pick up, and then use.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And we've also stressed this too. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's probably my personal opinion is that we shouldn't have guns in this country at all, but I'm also a realist, and I know that there are people who want them for legitimate reasons. I know that it'll never happen because this country is too deep into gun culture. In terms of policy, no one is asking to outlaw guns. We are asking for some sane measures that we ask literally for numerous other things that we do in this country. We're asking us to treat guns the same way we treat cars at the very least. And we can't even do that. You can't. There are more regulations on someone selling churros on the streets of Manhattan than there are on guns in this country. Yeah, there are the churro ladies in Manhattan get tickets for selling churros.
And they're
you can't
special
sell
like
on the streets of Manhattan.
and like
buy them at a gun show.
The bodegas have like special restrictions on like selling ice cream, believe it or not, like selling different kinds of ice cream. I can't remember specifically what it is, but yeah, I've represented bodega guys for selling ice cream without the right kind of like whatever thing, and or like, you know, cigarette stuff. Yeah, no, that's actually Bender's right there. That's not even like hyperbole.
Like, we're asking for the most basic shit. Like, there should be some basic background checks. There should be some basic registration measures. This is just common sense. And
I do wonder if there was a louder anti-gun voice, like people that actually wanted to take all the guns away, if these obvious common sense reforms would be more likely, because they'd be like, well, at least we're not going to go as far as taking all the guns away. Okay, we'll accept, these reforms here. But because there is no real voice to take all the guns away, it's just like you're arguing against people who don't have anything.
We don't need that real person. The right's made that person up every single time. Obama's going to come door to door, take all your guns, get ready. Biden's coming door to door to take all your guns, get ready. Literally, the far right preparing to shoot like law enforcement or military that they imagine in their heads is going to knock on their door and request their guns. They've already created this guy, and it doesn't matter.
That's the voter, though. Like, I mean, in terms of like the politicians. Like, if there was actual debate by politicians that some of them wanted to take the guns away, then maybe the gun lobby would be more like, okay, well, we don't want to go that far. Okay, we'll accept some of these basic restrictions. But yeah, like the voter obviously is they're far gone. They think what you said. But when it comes to the actual politicians that are making the laws, if there was some real debate about, or if there were some real extremes on the left around guns, maybe just common sense reform would be more likely.
I agree. I mean, that is actually that was a lot of like early academic abolitionist position, right? Is that abolition was a position they should advocate for with the criminal system, because it would seem so radical and extreme to people that they would be more likely to go for the people that suggest the reforms. You know what I mean? Which are steps there. So yeah, I think that makes sense, David.
And that's really a strategy that could be used on any issue. Like go to the far extreme when you're in government, and then hope for something a little better than what you have.
I'm going to be honest. I think the problem with that, and I like the premise, I like the idea, but I think in reality, I don't know how to say this without this sounding like not great. So it's just gonna happen. But we have the right that's getting more right by the day, right? And then we have people that claim they're liberals or centrists who essentially are getting drugged by the right weight and are also going more right by default because they're not willing to stand firm on their beliefs. The amount of people I've had to fight with that want to be like, oh, I'm centrist, this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, cool. You stand for nothing. So the problem is a vast majority of Americans fall into that pool of gray blah where they really don't have a fucking opinion, or they don't care to have an opinion, and they choose to not have a voice or opinion, or just vote party lines, not really care about the issues at hand. It's starting to change, but not quick enough. And the problem with that is when you have the right that is so unified over this whole, there will be no restrictions ever, it doesn't matter. And when they create this boogeyman, like what Matt was saying about this fake person that is going to take all your guns, that Obama's going to do it, that Biden's going to do it, and no one has ever advocated for it, it doesn't matter because the nightmare in their heads is so much more extreme, and then so many Americans are so freaking passive that monster might as well be here. And so here's our boogeyman. He's here, at least in their minds. Nothing's changing still. So now what? Now where are we at?
Personally, I think for me, I deal with Republicans under the premise that that they know that they're bullshitting. You know what I mean? That they know that they're in on it. You know what I mean? They're in on the straw man. Like they know that it's make believe for real. Like they understand what their ultimate. That's why they're so unionized. Why they work so well together, because they understand what their ultimate center, true underlying goals are. Right? They know what the bigotry they're really rallied around are, and everything is just means of getting us all caught up in the dance of arguing and going around in circles and gaslighting us and getting us to waste our time and to distract us. So for me, it's like it wouldn't really be about them. It's more so about I guess like the Democrats and the liberals that have more of a good faith belief in what their position is. Like when Republicans start painting it like there's a particular problems, the Democrats and the liberals and the quote unquote left leaning moderates who are like, oh yeah, they start thinking that too, like, oh, there's somebody in da 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 da, and they always feel when they have it in their mind if there was an actual candidate who was somebody was a larger movement of people trying to take all the guns, they do clamor to rally around like a moderate because they feel like that person is causing the Republicans to like brand them like this, like, oh, we're the Democrats, we're reasonable, and they're like, oh, we gonna run to this. Like, remember when they talk a lot of shit now, but remember when Biden first said he was running again, and they were like, whoa, yeah, oh, my safe dying heart, oh, times of yesterday, they were happy. Trust me, they were very happy. Like, no mind what Twitter be saying. In real life, they be happy. They like their boy. They like he keeps it real regular, real times that was used to. So I think both. It's one of those things that's an intellectual exercise. Like, who knows, right? There's no right or we don't know because and I think both ways.
I think it matters who you're talking about. If you're talking about like powerful voices in media, I think you're right to say that they know what they're doing. When it comes to the voter, right-wing voters, they're not thinking at all. It's all feeling. It's all emotion. It's all, oh, this is trans people are scary now because I don't understand it, and like that's like they're motivated by fear. And they're completely absent of thinking. But when it comes to people controlling them in media, absolutely, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They recite right-wing talking points because the right is very, very good at monopolizing discourse. So, they're all in unison. Republicans say the same thing. Fox News says the same thing. Their influencers and propagandists say the same thing. So if you have a bunch of people repeating something all at the same time in unison, I mean, that really does help to shape public discourse. It's why, like Blair was talking about, these people, these centrists who don't really have any cohesive ideas. They're just kind of like, there's a lot of gray area. And that usually is the case, but when they do have opinions, like you can tell they base that off of what they hear, like the loudest people. Like I remember when I was working at fucking Blockbuster in 2009 and Obama was first inaugurated, and I had customers coming in, oh, go buy a gun because he's gonna take your guns. Like just normal people who were seemingly apolitical. Like they just recite the bullshit that they hear. So you can really do a lot to influence political discourse. It's a bit of a side tangent, but by just being loud. Say that again.
Didn't gun sales skyrocket too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like a post-Obama spike or something?
Oh yeah. Definitely. So they legitimately thought, and even like my friends who were like very libby and like apolitical were saying the same thing. Oh, I'd like to see them take my guns. It's like, motherfucker, you don't have any guns. I know you. You don't have guns. What, your dad's gun? That's not your gun. It's just, they repeat what they hear. And, Democrats could learn a thing or two, at least strategically, from Republicans. But that's a little bit of a side note. Like people kind of just, they're sponges and they absorb the bullshit. So if you could be really loud, that's how you can influence the normies,
Speaking of the power of media, I saw this clip and I laughed out loud. So this is Rick Stengel, former managing editor of Time magazine, and listen to what he says here. So they're talking about Fox News, which his point about Fox News is accurate, but it's completely lacking here in any sort of self-awareness.
I mean, what's been so disheartening about it, having been in the news business virtually my whole life, it is a business. I've never seen people make decisions about coverage based on business, based on profits, based on ratings.
What?
In the news,
that is such bullshit.
What a lie. What the fucking categorical lie?
Chris Hayes admitted that climate change is a ratings killer, which is why they don't talk about it. Like,
why would you even lie like that? Why would you even lie like that?
Everybody Trump endlessly in 2016 because he drove ratings like this.
Right? Empty podiums.
Yeah, empty podiums, chairs, flags. As long as Trump was going to show up, fucking they were there.
Yeah, and didn't I forget who it was exactly, but one of the executives at CNN, didn't he say that? Like, oh yeah, Trump he's amazing for ratings. Like they admitted this
CBS
stuff.
Actually, the
CBS,
dude
who
right, yeah, I can't remember his name though. Julie Chen's husband, Les Moonves.
Oh, Les Moonves, yeah.
News. And so what we've seen from Tucker Carlson to the CEO is that all of these decisions are based on pure numbers and revenue, and probably overseen by the Wizard of Oz himself, Rupert Murdoch, who cares about that.
So yeah, of course that's true about Fox, but that's also like when it comes to
true
other
of everybody.
Yeah, like
true about everybody.
There's a difference, like in terms of lying about an election, the results of an election, but still, when it comes to deciding what to cover, who to prop up, how to cover, the framing around issues is a big one. They're always, when it comes to economic issues, always pro-business framing around every issue. So it's like that's all driven by the perspective that they want to see and what benefits their business. How do you not acknowledge this?
Anybody that is content creating is talking about what is relevant, what people are going to galvanize around, which is trying to gauge engagement. That this is capitalist world, right? That we're talking about things because that's what people are talking about right now, and that's what they're gonna come to hear about. So that's not real. What his real argument should be is, they are making up absolute lunacy. There is no sense of fact checking, it's like journalistic. They're not in the world with us. It's complete foolishness, hogwash, and they are educating the minds of America and making a significant part of the population considerably dumber. And we should put a stop to it at once. That should be the talking point, but not like, do you believe that they just do things purely for engagement? Do you believe that? Would you believe that? Like, yes. I'm currently trying to learn algorithms as we speak.
Look, I'm trying to engage. I'm working on my engagement. I'm trying to learn.
Right.
Yeah, Fox News is the logical conclusion to audience capture. They intentionally lied about the 2020 election because they know that Trump sycophants would abandon the network for like OAN or Newsmax. So they said what they thought they had to say to keep their audience, right? So, to pretend as if all news doesn't function that way. In a capitalist system, these are businesses, not news organization. News comes second to the profit motive. Like they have advertisers to appease, which is why you don't hear them have robust conversations about, a single payer healthcare, because then what, health company is going to want to advertise. You can apply that to any single industry. You know, back in the 2020 primary era, you'd have Chuck Todd talking about how Bernie Sanders is terrible, and then cut to a break where it's like, hey, this segment is sponsored by Boeing. I mean, this is the world that we live in, unfortunately. These are businesses, not news agencies.
Not us, though.
We live in hell. Anyway.
We really do.
Sorry, we do. This is just hell.
I think you just gave one of the bingos, Blair. One of them is like, Blair ends a serious thing with a funny one-liner or something.
Oh yeah, and if y'all don't know, inside the Leftist Mafia Discord server, I guess we have some folks in there that are playing bingo right now as we're streaming about things that we might say or do during every single Leftist Mafia episode, which I think is really freaking cool.
So goddamn predictable. All of us are so predictable.
Well, we're stupid liberals.
Yet? Did we do it?
Oh yeah, did anyone get a bingo? I'm taking a look in there. Has anyone had a bingo?
What are the rules? Like, what are the?
Yeah, what's the?
Okay, so here we go. I'm looking right now.
All you have to do is spin. It's pretty funny.
Okay, so here we go.
Like, I both hate it and love it, but mostly hate
here.
it.
There's 26 potential calls that they can make. It looks like as of right now. One is bad mic audio. We got that earlier.
Automatically within the first 1 minute of every single episode.
Number 2, Lance almost does spit take while drinking water. 3,
hasn't happened yet today.
Olay calls out a chatter. 4, Lance mentions online ghoul he follows. 5, Matt or David mentions their kids or immediate family. 6, Blair one-liner after being silent.
That should be Mike.
This should be Mike. I think Mike, but yeah. And now they're adding emotes saying hi. Hi, Dynamic. Yeah, we're reading your post right now. 7 is the Mike Trump impression. 8 is Matt's laughing drowns out all the other speakers.
Oh, I think I did that earlier. Yeah.
9 is David talks about Canadian politics. 10 is a reference to one of my videos. 11 is the guest is confused about what everyone else is talking about.
I love that one.
I do too. 12 is Olay calls something white people shit. 13 it is. 13 is someone's connection kicks them off the call. 14 is
well, it wasn't my connection.
Well, yeah. 14 is canceling or uncanceling of someone is ironic or not serious. 15 is no one. 15 is no one is canceled or uncanceled.
They know us so well.
Y'all do know us very well. This is great. 16 is Olay or Lance almost fall out of their chair laughing.
Not yet.
17 is 17 is Olay asks who a certain online pundit is.
That happened, right?
Yeah, that happened.
Pac-Man. I missed that. I missed the Pac-Man segment.
Yeah. 18 is Mike, David, or Lance mention video games. 19 is
stream after me at the end for sure.
There we go. 19 is Matt mentions crypto.
Not yet.
Not yet. 20 is there's an entire segment talking about Twitter beef. That's every time.
Yeah, every single episode.
Speaking of which, Elon Musk is about to take away all the verified checks. Anyways, keep going.
Woo! There we go.
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Walkathon
All right,
is coming.
we got like 5 more of these. Okay. Mike calls himself a boomer. He's 21. 22 is Lance mentions his indigenous heritage.
Hasn't happened.
Hasn't happened yet.
Hilarious. Not they clocking how many times you can say you're indigenous.
White people love to say that.
23 is just Chico. That's it, just Chico.
Oh, that's cute.
That is cute.
He's not here right now, but that's cute.
24 is a derailed segment. I think that's what this is.
Like every segment.
25 is Lance laughs so hard he needs to face away from the microphone.
That's a courtesy, by the way. Okay, I do that as a courtesy for you.
I hate when I realized When I realized that Lance mutes himself while he laughs, I'm like, damn it, my jokes are missing their laugh track. Stop doing that. When I realized that, I'm like, stop it, Lance.
It's my mic just bleeds and it doesn't let me have sound anymore. So it looks like I'm muting, but it's too high pitched.
Ah.
Yeah.
And the last one is Olay tells everyone how high she is. And that's our current list. I think they got us real good.
A Raheem appearance.
Yeah, we need Raheem.
No one said smoke breaks.
No one said smoke breaks. Yeah, sorry, we need Olay's smoke breaks.
Bingo for that one.
That's bingo.
Yeah, that's the center. That's the center square.
I should let somebody hail. When I go, I'll hail. Y'all can see Raheem today. I'll get him.
I don't think I'm on the Discord. Where's the Discord link at? Did we ever?
Yeah. Here. Oh, yeah. You had to accept me as a friend so I could send you the Discord link, Matt.
Oh, I just did. I barely go on Discord, but I guess
you're
I should
good.
start now.
Yes,
I know, I have
you'll
to
have
start
to.
as well.
Here, I will. Yeah, because I know there were a couple comments where some people were like, "You guys don't talk enough in the Discord server, so we need to go talk with our people friends."
I'm sorry, folks. I'm trying to learn how to use Discord
Here you go,
because
Matt.
I'm a boomer. There's a space for you all.
Oh, there we go, boomer. Who got a bingo?
I'm not familiar with it. Raheem. Oh.
Say hi.
There we go. Matt just added. Let me give you your roles.
So cute.
The Dawn's roll. There we go.
Where's the link to the Discord? Once I get it, I will
here,
share
the
it
public
in the
one.
YouTube
Give me
chat.
just a second, and I'll get that link. I'm gonna post it
I tried
in
signing
our
but it
chat.
wants me to do a whole authentication thing. I'm like, I don't know.
Don't
I
worry
have
about
it in my description, I believe. No, it's not in the description this time. I'll add it to the description though.
Okay, here we go. On the side of our little chat thing, that's the Discord link.
Perfect.
Okay, I will share that.
Matt, what are you doing in the?
I don't know. I'm just clicking things.
I was like, Matt's in the live.
I don't know. I'm an old man when it comes to Discord.
Oh my God! Look at
There
Raheem.
we go.
Sorry, I know we're talking about Discord, but oh my God.
So cute.
Oh. Okay, I love him. Not to be a total just freaking basic white girl here, but oh my God, he is so cute. I can't help it.
So much.
I do want to share. So this was the thing that maybe surprised me the most this week. Out of all the things that happened this week, this I found the most surprising.
Oh my.
So where is it? Where is it? Here it is. So this is during the hearing about Starbucks. Howard Schultz was in front of a bunch of senators. This is Republican Senator Mike Braun. This is after Howard Schultz had bragged about paying his employees $17 an hour on average. Average Starbucks employee makes $17 an hour. He keeps bragging about this. Here is again Republican Mike Braun.
Any large corporation shouldn't necessarily be bragging about $15 to $20 wages. When you look at the typical structure of a large company, that should probably be $20 plus, like many Main Street businesses pay. And I think if companies like yours and the larger companies don't do it, you're going to be constantly, grappling with maybe here. But
wow,
a Republican senator arguing for higher wages. Starbucks wages are too low. Should be $20 plus. I have never seen a Republican politician make this kind of argument, but I don't know.
Hell is freezing over, folks. Hell is freezing over.
They're playing the long game. Gonna own the libs by making their favorite coffee shop cost more money because they got to pay their employees more. That's probably his line of thinking, even though we know that's not how it works.
They got us fucked up.
That's the Republican line. Yes.
So, Ninder, do you want to talk about verification? Twitter?
Yeah, it's Twitter time, baby.
Let's do it. Let's do it. But this is going to be quite the conversation, isn't it?
Is there much to say, really?
There is,
unfortunately. Pay for Twitter, Binder?
There
Are you going to be a motherfucker who pays for Twitter?
There is someone in this. We can play Clue if you want. There is someone in this room who does pay for Twitter.
I have Twitter Blue.
There you go. She just came right out and said,
I had it. I had it before. I had it before Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Oh, you have it from the old one.
Yeah, I had it before he bought it. I didn't go and buy it after the like. Come on,
support Elon.
I had it because it made it. It was way slower to upload video. I couldn't upload videos that were long. I put out. I only just recently got a YouTube channel, so I primarily uploaded videos and like my rise in content, my longer content. It was easier. It took way easier. With Twitter Blue before, so I already had it. So I'm like, I have no performative message to send. Like I already had it.
Well, I have a raw.
Although I might get rid of it because the whole app is falling apart at this point.
You should also get rid of it because there's going to be a real move to block everybody who has it after
the Great
after this
Blockathon
weekend.
is on the 15th.
So I would definitely get rid of that check mark as quickly as possible.
I didn't know about the blockathon.
They, basically, after this weekend, the only people who will have the check mark are Twitter Blue subscribers.
Yeah.
So the power users and the anti-Musk people are starting a whole thing to block after this weekend when the check marks are moved. Every check mark you see, just block them. It's called Block the Blue. It's going to be a real thing. I mean, it's not something I came up with.
But what if my legacy check mark doesn't get removed and people think that I pay for Twitter and they instinctively block me?
If a whole bunch of check marks aren't removed this weekend, that news will get out, and I bet people won't do it right away. It's basically people just want to know right off because right now you do have to click on the check mark, and I do bet that extra move is just people don't care enough to do that. But if the only people on the app who have the check mark are the people paying Musk, then people of course are just gonna hover over that block button and just block them in a quick second. There's also
defeat the purpose of having a check of paying for a check mark. Like now that you know.
Like here's the thing.
What's the point of buying a check mark?
He's so stupid because, of course, the paid check marks are a bad idea. But from a business standpoint, keep the verification on the people who had it, because those are, for the most part, and I'm not calling myself this, but for the actual big users of Twitter, like the celebrities, the Hollywood actors, the big music stars, they're verified. And so the selling point for Elon Musk for his $8 a month plan is to fucking, you want to look like those people? Pay me $8 and I'll give you the check mark so you look like them. But without even that, if you take the check mark off of all those people, then what's the fucking selling point? It's going to be the loser badge. Like, it's going to be literally like a scarlet letter. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. A lot of celebrities are saying how they're going to stop posting.
I've never blocked anybody, and I'm really proud to say that, because every free speech warrior on the internet has
never
blocked anyone. I have a flawless record of 0 blocks because I wanted to be able to say this. I wanted to be able to say I'm the only free speech absolutist.
You're not actually, because
everyone quote me. I let everyone reply to me. You can have at me. Go nuts. I've never blocked
anybody. I block the fuck out of people.
But I'm changing on October 15th. 14th. I'm going to, once my blue check mark is gone, I'm blocking literally every blue check mark on Twitter, and Elon Musk is first. He will be my first block. I'm so excited. I'm going to block Elon Musk first, then every blue check mark. Right now.
I also block 0 people for that same reason. I didn't want to give anyone the pleasure of being able to do that screenshot that shows Matt Binder blocked me.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't care at all.
I make public service announcements all the time that I block you. You're lucky if I block you, because if I don't block you, I will drag you through the dirt. I just checked my blocked accounts. I have 2,193 people blocked on Twitter, and honestly, that's low in my mind. I would have guessed higher.
I should check mine.
I actually knew I knew Ole had Twitter Blue because I have the raw data of every single Twitter Blue.
Oh, do you have a block list I can use?
Damn.
User, I can. It's
the day
not
I want to hit like a button and just watch it go like block.
I'm about to cancel my subscription. I just hope that I hate that you can't customize your display on Twitter after that, right? You're stuck with that communities tab shit foolishness.
But I mean, I'm
gonna cancel it. I do hate it. I hate it. Like I hate it.
I hear you. This is the intro. I wrote a piece and it went pretty viral this week. This great researcher Travis Brown has been tracking Twitter Blue subscribers, and he's been like diving into the data, and he's been sharing it with me. And it's amazing to see some of this stuff. Basically, the focus I did this past week, and there's gonna be another piece coming out next week. I can't tell you what, but it's gonna be another real amazing who pays for Twitter Blue piece. But the Twitter Blue subscribers. Half of the Twitter Blue subscribers, half of the people who pay Elon Musk for Twitter Blue, do not even have 1,000 followers. They have less than 1,000 followers. 18% of the people who pay Elon Musk for Twitter Blue have less than 100 followers.
Okay, I cancel my subscription.
And something like close to 3,000 close to 3,000 of these people have 0 followers. Paying Elon Musk to blast your tweets to 0 fucking people. It's really like and people are asking, oh, what's the significance of that? Well, of course there are some great accounts, people who follow me who have less than 1,000 followers, but for the most part, if you have very low follower accounts and you think you need Twitter Blue, you're most likely a very low quality poster. From my own experience, I don't know if you've come across the Twitter Blue user in your replies, but you can usually tell without even clicking the Twitter Blue logo to see if they pay to Twitter for Twitter Blue, because the quality of their tweets are much different than the vast majority of the people who use Twitter. It's amazing. It's almost without fail a far right winger, a crypto scammer, an Elon Musk / Tesla sycophant. It is like almost like 9 out of 10 times it's going to be one of those people, and I would say even like less of a percentage of that. And then you never come across someone like an Ole paying for the old Twitter Blue still. That's like you're like a rare gem in the. They don't exist anymore. Those old school users don't exist anymore.
That's honestly, yeah. Well, I canceled this now. I don't need nobody stressing me out. I'm sick of people having my name. I do not want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, I swear to God, I'm up to here with internet users. I've had my fill. I literally took this week off like a mental health week. I sent my CEO an audio note and I was like, listen to me. I cannot talk to people for a week. I need a mental health week, because if I don't, I'm about to set it off. Like, I'm just gonna go mind my business. Nope, I'll just fucking cancel the subscription. I'm tired of fighting for my life. Fuck it. Like, whatever. Like, whatever. Like, who cares? I don't have time. Fuck it. Because people, I've gotten messages from people being like, please allow me, please cancel your Twitter Blue. I'm like, oh my God.
You have?
Really?
I'll be honest though. You just showed me, and to everyone watching, you just showed us all that it works. Shame these motherfuckers. Shame them. Not you. Not calling you a motherfucker. Those other ones. Shame them. Shame them.
You see why you can't deal with a hostile mob? You see why you can't play that game? The minute you get a little bit of ground, now look, they're emboldened. Look what I've done. Look at
listen, people have asked me, like, what's the equivalent of, like, oh, you pay like Amazon for Amazon Prime, and you support Jeff Bezos. I mean, I do think there's a huge difference between these other shitty billionaires who we hate because they're billionaires looking out for their own capitalist billionaire class, and Elon Musk. I really do. There's a difference between those guys who are driven by pure profit and money, and Elon Musk, who's out there legitimately using the platform to push a political ideology. There's no other.
He's pushing his own agenda, and it's less business driven than it is Elon driven. He just became the most followed user of all time. You could put a campaign pressure. A bunch of organizations could get together and shame a Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos into tweaking something, changing something, because at the end of the day, they're looking out for what will make them the most money. With Elon Musk, he's out there fucking pushing anti-trans shit personally, like literally
replying to anti-trans stuff about the shooter so it gets boosted in people's feed. He's sharing conspiratorial posts about Nancy Pelosi possibly was having her husband was having gay sex with his attacker. Like, this dude is different than those other ones. They're all shitty. Fuck them all. But Elon Musk is shitty for a different reason.
He wants Reddit's approval. He wants 4chan's approval. He wants to be like, it didn't piss him off that he's the reply guy for people like, Ian Miles Chong or all these other like really weird far right weirdos, and he's happy with that. He is now the most followed person on the platform. You got it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, like there are shows on Amazon Prime that are anti-capitalist. Like, so if Elon Musk controlled like a Netflix or an Amazon Prime, I don't think you'd have any shows like that on there, right? Like it would be like a Daily Wire sort of deal.
Look, here's the thing when it comes to billionaires and their billion-dollar businesses, right? Is someone, when it comes to like talking about Jeff Bezos, right? He's evil. We pretty much know he's got the looks and the empire to be a super villain in a movie, right? We get that. He's got the bald head and everything. But he still produces a product that's unfortunately useful and valuable to millions of people around the world, right? So we can hate him, but he's still providing a service that people now need, especially post-pandemic. Elon Musk doesn't provide that. His Teslas are catching people on fire. His Boring Company, I think, is releasing toxins into the environment, and it's
hurt public transit. Like,
correct.
That was his goal.
Absolutely, and he admitted that.
Transit projects.
The death holes.
Yeah, and now he bought Twitter, which is a company he overvalued, and now he's crying and sucking his fucking thumb, waiting for people to suck his dick, because he overvalued this company, and now it's losing money. He's like, it hurts my. He's hurting. It's like a Pokemon. It hurt itself in confusion. So I don't care. He doesn't provide any benefit to society. He's just a fucking cockroach. I hope I get banned for that. You're a cockroach, Elon.
I mean that's even if you want to take the political element out of it, which you shouldn't, but even if you to reach out to normies who aren't in our bubble, like you said, like there are a number of companies out there who you sometimes have to do the trade-off of, are they actually providing me with a service that helps my life in some way, or makes my life easier in some way so I can do what I do. And Elon Musk is not providing that service. In fact, he's made the platform worse and rolled out this subscription service basically as a help bail me out for my bullshit type deal. Like it's and listen, if you want to see Twitter get better, there will be no better way than to make this guy lose as much money as possible, so he's got no choice but to get rid of it in a fire sale and get it in someone else's hands, quite honestly.
I got to admit, like when he first bought it, I didn't think he would do much to change it, because I figured this guy wants to make money, right? Like, why would he just destroy the platform and lose all of its value? Why would he do that? But that's exactly what he did. Like, it's either intentional. Maybe he sees Twitter as, I don't think he's even thinking that far, but maybe he sees Twitter as like somehow a benefit to the left and spreading ideas. But I just think he's just a moron. Like, he really wants approval from certain groups in society. And that's what he's chasing.
Yeah, I mean, I overestimated his intelligence for sure. I always thought he was a dumbass, but I thought, he wants to make money. So, of course, he's not going to make substantial changes that fundamentally alter the way that Twitter functions. I was proven wrong, too, because, it keeps getting worse. I
don't know if you guys...
Happy, though.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys use any third-party Twitter apps, but I had another story today. Basically, they rolled out their new API plan, which is basically what all the developers who create apps that use Twitter use to connect to Twitter. Like if you use an app that posts to Twitter, or if you use a service that pulls tweets so you could monitor your mentions or whatever. Basically, they rolled out a plan for these developers saying, okay, here right now you could get for free. Twitter offers a free plan that lets them pull 2 million tweets a month, and then there's paid plans for beyond that, which has helped create this ecosystem of all these different Twitter apps. But now Elon is instituting a new plan where the free plan doesn't let you do anything like that. It lets you just run a Twitter bot that just could tweet 1,000 times a month or something like that. But if you have an app, you basically have to sign up for $100 a month plan, which basically gives you only the ability to write like something like 1,000 or 2,000 tweets per month, which most of these apps are beyond, like, because they have multiple users, right? So just one user would probably do that. Imagine if you run an app that has like 1,000 users. And then if you're beyond that $100 per month plan, you have to then upgrade to the enterprise plan. Oh, how much is this upgrade? Maybe $100, $200 extra a month? No. The upgrade from the $100 plan for these developers is a $42,000 per month plan. $42,000 per month. All these indie developers who make like max maybe a couple $1,000s per month, if even that, are all announcing that like, fuck, my entire career that I've built, my job, I gotta close it down. I'm screwed. All these apps are closing because this guy is a moron and thinks that the sensible upgrade to a $100 plan, which is shit to begin with, is one that goes to a $42,000 per month plan. Like the equivalent of that is like, imagine you had you paid for like a dial-up internet, but with like your internet provider, and that was like $100 per month, and then you wanted to upgrade to like the cable cable subscription or something, and they're like, oh, that upgrade just gonna cost you $10,000 per month. Like, it just makes no sense to jump from that. He's a fucking like idiot, honestly. Like, how do you not, like, even from a business perspective of monetizing something that was free before, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Well, and let's talk about this whole not making sense thing too, just for a second, because the reality too with Elon is him purchasing Twitter and doing what he did to it shows two things. One, it shows that all of those business decisions, when it comes to like, we're talking about his past stuff with PayPal and stuff, how he didn't really create it. He just kind of happened to be at the right place at the right time with Daddy's Emerald money or whatever to invest into it. It shows, one, he's really not that smart, and he's been playing this game that he's smarter than he is. And now it's coming out when he's actually put in the driver's seat of a company that doesn't have any advisors or HR or anything. Here's what happens. Here's the man you think is a genius. But two, this level of wealth inequality, being able to purchase a company for $44 billion, an amount of money most of us cannot even fathom what that means or what that looks like, and then squandering it in front of us it's rubbing the wealth inequality all in our faces. This level of gross misspending of finances, of money that none of us will ever even see in our lives. To lose $20 billion in a year, we don't even know what the fuck that means, honestly, okay? We know it's a lot of zeros. That's all we really know. Yeah. We can't quantify that. Our brains literally cannot do that. And he did it for the fucking lulz, for funsies, because he wanted to be number one. The entire situation says a lot.
The whole meritocracy isn't real, though. That's nice. Now we know that billionaires CEOs of these Fortune 500 companies aren't necessarily there because they're the most qualified and the most exceptional human beings on the planet, directed to lead us peasants with their incredible 9,000 IQ super brains.
I feel like there's like 1,000 examples of like this not being a meritocracy. this endless.
This is the most striking, David.
As a whole,
the most striking. I contend the most striking.
Yeah, actually, that.
And public.
Fair enough. Yes. Are we still doing cancel uncancel, or is that a canceled segment now? Are we canceling?
Let's do it. I know exactly who we're gonna. I know exactly who we're gonna uncancel today.
That's on fire. Let's go.
All right. Who are we uncanceling?
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Let's cancel him again.
I don't quite understand.
No, I'm not canceling him. I'm uncanceling him. We're gonna uncancel Donald J. Trump. The man's getting indicted already. He could use a little help. He could use a lifeline.
No.
We're uncanceling that man. We're uncanceling that man.
He's been through so much already. Let's uncancel him.
Yeah, we're uncanceling that man. No.
Oh, I like Jordan's comment. Uncancel David Pakman.
Oh, someone.
It was not Jordan. It was. Did you hear?
Pakman should not be
actually. I say we cancel Pakman, but not for that tweet. We just cancel him for his whole history of David Pakmanisms.
David Pakmanisms.
That's funny.
I never have anyone to uncancel.
Wasn't we supposed to get rid of this segment and start recommending?
Oh yeah, shit. No. Ole's right.
That's what we said we were going to do. We're going to start recommending people. It's way more wholesome.
Yeah. Okay. Let's recommend some folks.
We're filling up some bingo spaces again.
We messed up again. Sorry,
Someone
guys.
already got bingo. Someone got bingo.
Oh, someone got a bingo already? Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations!
What happened? What was the final one that got you over the edge there?
Yeah, we need to know.
Alani's disgusted face at a thing that we said.
Oh yeah, what I just said about Trump, right? Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I sort of gave you that one. That one was so obvious that what you were going to get out of that maybe people would think that you paid me under the
that in their mind.
You paid me under the table to win that bingo.
Congratulations! You get a PS5, the God of War bundle. We'll be sending that to you next week. So look out for
courtesy of Mike Figueredo, who will be spending the entirety of.
Well, now we're talking about video games. That's another bingo.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
More bingos happening.
Did I mention I'm part native?
Was that on it?
Predictable. I love it.
Well, if we're gonna plug some people here, I didn't plug anybody last week, but I've always enjoyed right here Andrea's work, Cyberdemon 531.
Yeah, I love Andrea.
Oh, I'm subscribed to her too.
Oh, are you? There
I
you
watch
go.
her videos too. Yeah,
It's
she's had some
fantastic.
nice pics on me.
She deserves a lot more. I think a lot more subs than she has, a lot more views than she has. So definitely check out and subscribe to.
She's a machine too. She puts up a lot of content.
Oh yeah, very consistent. A lot of live streams, a lot of great stuff. Great perspective, great charisma, fantastic. I think she's great.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
I have someone I'd like to nominate to the pile of new people. I would like to recommend a streamer over on Twitch, Hannah Reloaded. They have about 11,500, I guess, followers, subs, or whatever. And they're a leftist variety streamer. They like to talk about politics, debunking conspiracy theories, and all of that.
Hannah's based.
Yeah, I love Hannah. I think they're a great person. So
Yeah.
So
I was like, that
big
sounds familiar.
fan.
I'm like, okay, I know Hannah. That's right.
I love Hannah.
I don't know her personally, but I know her content. She's good.
I remember.
Question right quick.
Yeah.
Were our recommendations supposed to be like political?
You can.
I think
whoever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say whoever, right? Like, well, because Olay and I don't really tread wholly into political stuff all the time. So I think that's fair to make that extension out.
Oh, you think so? Oh, look at that. I thought
I'm gonna
If
recommend.
we're doing that, then I got someone else to plug as well. If you like RPGs, JRPGs, Eric Landon RPG, fantastic channel. You can see I watch all his videos. Fantastic videos. Check out Eric Landon RPG. There you go.
Dude, where do you find the time to watch to make all these political videos and then watch hour-long RPG videos over there?
I tend to watch videos over like days, so I like pause it like 10 minutes in, watch it the next day, and eventually get through it. But
that's fair.
Or I'll play, like while I'm playing a game, I'll listen to a podcast or listen to a video. So that's how I do
I'm
it.
going to recommend a little streamer known as Hassan Abi. I'm not sure if anyone's
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
Joke, Matt.
You should have this segment actually for all of us here.
I'll recommend Debunk the Funk with Dr. Wilson. It's a YouTube channel that takes really, really bad COVID takes by Jimmy Dore or Russell Brand or Glenn Greenwald, etc., and then debunks them from the perspective of a molecular biologist who really, really fucking knows his shit. So Dr. Wilson is awesome. Debunk the Funk with Dr. Wilson. I highly recommend.
There you go. Actually, I'm gonna go self-serving here because I got nowhere near as many as you guys on YouTube and Twitch. Follow me. Subscribe to my channel.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Matt Binder. There's so many of you watching David's channel, Mike's channel, Lance's channel, Blair's channel right now. YouTube.com/ give me to 30,000 subscribers at least. Look how close I am. Come on.
Very close.
Let's do it, folks. Come on.
And of course, if you're on Twitch watching Lance, you can just go to twitch.tv/Matt Binder too. And follow me there as well.
And also, don't forget to check out Olay's new YouTube channel. It's got some great quality content. All right. We also have a young new YouTuber here with us, and we need to promote her as well.
Thank you, y'all. Yes, I wanted to do the same thing, and I'm glad Bender did it first, because I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. It's too on brand. So yeah. Illuminati on YouTube. I like my page. I like my show. I think it's nice. I think it's cute. So yeah, do that. I put out a new video yesterday. Y'all should watch it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Well, I can put it. I can't put it. I'm gonna put it in the Surf's chat. But the Surf's watched it. I love them.
It was a really good video. It was really
yeah.
And I think I'm gonna recommend everyone's channels here, because I think, one, we're wrapping up the show, but two, every one of the hosts on our weekly little Leftist Mafia podcast here has great perspectives on different things going on in the world. There's a lot going on every single day. All of us have different takes, different perspectives, and different things we like to focus on. And I think every single person here produces fantastic content and is worthy of checking out, tuning in, subscribing, following, all that good shit.
That's very nice, but again, my channel and Olay's, you don't have that. Everyone has got too many.
No, that's facts. No, for real. No, yeah, for real. Yeah, no, definitely.
When my channel and Olay's channel are in the six figures, I had 100K. Then I'll start recommending the rest of the hosts' channels.
I told, by the way, Lance,
these three are the like.
Oh, you're not in that. You're upper five figures though.
I'm not in the 100K club. I was gonna plug myself because I have one new video on youtube.com/thesurfstv where I go through, and this is a comedy video, r/are the straights okay. It's if you haven't been there, it is a funny corner of the internet. Let me tell you, go to reddit.com/r/are the straights okay, and even straight people will love this. You don't have to be part of the rainbow. You'll have a great time, but oh my, is it wild. There is so much unhappiness in that Reddit thread. So many straight couples, like, I don't know why you're together. I don't get it. Every single one's like, I want to strangle my wife. Oh, my bitch wife. I hate my fucking wife. Oh, I hate my husband. Men are so dumb. I hate men. I'm like, why are you all together? What's wrong with you? You know, it was fun. It was fun and it's funny. I'm gonna plug it.
I told
straights, okay. There you go.
Lance, I saw you watching Foreign Man in a Foreign Lands video, and I sent it to him, and I was like, oh, this is my boy Lance, and he was like, oh, okay, since you say all right, we like him, and I was like, yes, we love Lance, he's an approved, we love the surf.
Because I asked him for an interview, and he was very, very nice to me, and he was very, very friendly. But it's nice to know that now he's like, oh, okay, I've been vetted. I like.
Oh, that's my foreign. His name is Peter. That's my real friend. We're from the same tiny island. That's my boy.
He's awesome. He's so funny.
Yeah, Foreign Man and Foreign Land is my boy.
I got to give a shout out to somebody who's a little bit bigger, but is just still underrated.
No.
I got to. Okay, it's Shark 300. Like, he is so fucking funny, and I think. Yeah, he just hit 100K, but like, he should be at like Hassan level. Like, the dude is so talented, so insightful, so funny. So yeah, everybody go subscribe to Shark on Twitter and Twitch. His content is amazing. Like, it's always must-watch content.
Totally agree. And while you're there, be sure to go to twitch.tv/MattBinder as well and hit that.
Illuminati. I think our videos are really fun. We really, we were pre-record. I think we're cute. I saw someone in the comments say the Habituation Room. Habituation Room is great with Francesca. I love it. I did. I have a interview with her on that show. I like that show. I recommend that.
Right. Too. She does have a really good YouTube channel, and be sure to check that out at youtube.com/MattBinder. No, that's her channel.
Yes. Illuminati. Yes. Gonna have a great episode next Thursday. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
I guess we're calling it a night.
Someone in my chat just asked, what happened to RM Brown joining us every now and then? Didn't he want to do that? What happened to that?
Oh, he's welcome anytime. I DM him often because I watch him in the morning. He's like my Good Morning America show, because the music's so soothing and all the sound effects just like get me silly in the mornings. And yeah, he's good people. I'll message him. I'll bring him back on.
Sounds good.
I do feel like on a regular basis, 6 is like a good number, because once we start packing more people on a consistent basis, it gets a little crazy. I will say that if I'm ever out, or like someone else ever, I mean, he can replace me anytime I'm out, which may happen a little more in the future. I don't know.
Oh, can we
very
David's announcing his early exit from Leftist Mafia.
My son was sick again the past week, and it was this past week. I barely slept for like 4 days. So whenever he gets sick, it's just like a disaster. But hopefully he's fine. I mean, he's fine now, but hopefully he's fine in the future.
One of these weeks, we have to take David into a back room. We got to show him something, and before you know it, he's
oh my god!
Look over there. Come in. Today's your big day. You're a made man. Come here. Bah!
Jesus Christ.
Well, that accelerated quickly.
Yeah, holy crap. Now we're demonetized.
Now R.M. Brown is in the family.
Lance, do you keep streaming after we get off Leftist Mafia?
No, I usually raid out to somebody.
Yes.
Do you want it? The raid?
What?
Are you asking for the raid? Oh, I said I raid out afterwards. Oh, I send like my audience to someone else. Like I sent it to Mike.
Oh.
I think maybe to David.
Oh, I was like, what? What raid? What are we talking about?
No,
okay, you know. No, I was just asking out of curiosity. Like, well, I was like, oh.
No, I'm
what are
pretty
you gonna do?
up at this point.
I'm impressed to hear that finally. Good, because you're always like every time I even think about surfs, I get an email like, we're on now. And I'm like, oh, hey. All right, everybody. Toodaloo.
Have a good